Hey guys, Brad Steps, your fitness director here at Hazen Tree Country Club. Today we come to you from the Players Retreat up above the golf shop, and we are introducing our Titleist Performance Institute Player Development Program. I'm here to introduce your team of John, Kirsten, and Eric. They are going to talk about the golf portion, medical portion, and fitness portion. So I'm going to introduce you now to John, and he's going to take over.
Hello everyone, as most of you know, John Galyean here. I'm your Director of Instruction, TPI certified, and many of you have seen me on the range, and we've talked about mechanics and body movement patterns and things of that nature. A lot of you have worked with me tirelessly on trying to get movement patterns going, and some of you we've actually broken down different pieces, talking about what if you get this moving better, this happens better in your golf swing. Well, now with this team that we've created, we're going to take it to another level. And much like Brad said, there's no other club in this area doing this, as far as I know, in the state that has this much in one house. Okay. So again, as I work from the golf side, the swing side, now as part of our team, we have very big components that's going to help you stop getting to that glass ceiling, so to speak. You can break through that. We're going to be able to see you move and be better, play longer, and avoid injuries. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kirsten, who's our medical. Kirsten?
Hi there. My name is Kirsten Marlowe, and I'm a physical therapist who specializes in golf injury rehabilitation and injury prevention. I've been a physical therapist for about 22 years. I have a certification as a level 3 medical practitioner through the Titleist Performance Institute, as well as a certification in the selective functional movement assessment and as a postural neurologist. My job as a physical therapist is to help keep you on the course. If you have pain or restrictions that are limiting your ability to move when you're working with John, I can step in and do a full body assessment of how you're moving, how you're using different parts of your body, how you might be using compensators. I can treat you with dry needling, kinesio taping, soft tissue work, as well as joint mobilizations to restore your mobility, your flexibility, and help you manage your pain. And then after that, I would refer you to Eric, who specializes in golf performance fitness.
Thank you, Kirsten. So hi, my name is Eric Cottrell. I am a fitness trainer specializing in Titleist Performance Institute's fitness protocol, which we follow, focusing on stability, mobility, flexibility, strength, and finally power that you need in your golf swing. I've been in the industry for 20 years, 20 plus years now. Actually opened my own fitness facility 5 years ago back in Florida, still in operation. And I've been blessed to have a couple of PGA professionals come through the doors, and it's been pretty exciting to have them and work alongside them. So we're excited with this program. We're looking to make the connection between golf and fitness and medical and how your body moves, and be able to assist you get your body right so that you can golf right moving forward. So,
Correct.
ready to get started?
So again, as all the team has alluded, you take your golf swing and you see countless tour professionals, you see other good amateurs, kids, and everyone has somewhat, they have a team. They're not doing it on their own. They're not just out working on mechanics. They've got a golf coach, maybe he's helped them with their golf swing, but it's the behind the scenes, meat and potatoes, so to speak, of Kirsten or Eric. And it all has to gel. So, again, you've tirelessly seen me on the range working with you, maybe helping you, and you feel like you just can't get it, or, I'm just not going to be able to play that good anymore. We can help with that. Okay? So now we're going to introduce, Kirsten's going to come up, and Eric, we're actually going to have a live student come up. Mr. Terry McCaffrey was gracious enough to come out and help us. Terry and I started almost a year and a half ago, working on his golf swing, and again, we hit that pinnacle, all right? And then Terry started to slip and couldn't figure out if it was me or him, or maybe it was both. But after a little bit of work, he found Kirsten. She unlocked a few key pieces. Terry excelled again. So, with that, I'll bring up Terry McCafferty And Kirsten, you and Eric.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
thanks for coming, Terry.
Yeah.
So I met Terry in June of this year. He came to me because he was actually having some lead hip pain as well as some lead elbow and wrist extensor pain as a result of his golf swing and some of the things that maybe weren't quite working right when he was playing golf. And so initially I did the Titleist Performance Institute screening on Terry as well as a medical assessment. And in the findings from his assessments, we determined that he has great mobility, actually. He moves really well through all of his hips and his spine. But his deficits were more the way he was stabilizing and the muscles he was using to do so. And so we determined early on that he needed to use his glutes because that's where we create our power, our stability, where we transfer energy from in the golf swing and many other activities in life. And so to begin with, we started working on getting him to stabilize his hip better, so that when he would come through his finish and post, he was using his glutes to create his stability, which allowed him to finish much more solidly in his golf swing. And then he also had some issues and injury in his lead elbow. And we found that as he was coming into impact, the position that he had his wrist in, he was trying to control some of his lack of lower body stability with his hands. It was actually aggravating some of the muscles here, which is a lot of people call tennis elbow, but lots of golfers have it as well. And so we did some different treatments, some soft tissue work, some dry needling, stretching, and taught him some other tools to help manage his symptoms, as well as really worked a lot on how he transfers energy through his body, how he absorbs the forces with his glutes when he posts in his finish, and through all of those treatments, he's able to finish not only much more solidly, create improved distance and control in his golf swing, but he's not trying to control his finish with his elbow. So those muscles have gotten better as well. So is there anything that you wanted to say about working?
All that true, absolutely. Made it a lot more fun. Certainly, playing without pain is just terrific as well. But my index went to as low as it's ever been. I started around, when I got here with John, about a 6 or 7, kind of down to about a 4, and then down to a 0.4 for a good part of the summer. Shot my low round ever a couple of times, and I feel like there's more gas in the tank, as it were. There's a lot more room to improve. So John, even putting is a lot better. We've worked on improving stabilization over the ball with putting, and worked on breathing of all things too, which has made a big difference in my ability to control the golf ball on the green. So a lot of good things.
Absolutely. As I said in the beginning, when we did Terry's assessment, we found that a couple of findings that really kind of stuck out in the beginning were the way that he held his posture at address, and then also how he used his glutes, as I had already mentioned. And so today we thought we would have Eric, who is our fitness specialist, take Terry through a couple of the simple tests that we did the first time and see how he's doing today. So, Eric?
That's all right.
For sure.
So nice to meet you, Terry.
Good, you too.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Participants, if you want to, you're welcome to stand and you're welcome to participate. Those viewing this as well. So I'll try to pause and give you an opportunity to try these on your own if you wish. So, whether you remember these or not, I'm going to walk through a couple of them that I'm going to do. If you could face me in your best 5-iron posture. So if you're at home and you like to do this, or you guys in the room, if you'd like to find your best 5-iron posture for you at this moment. While you find your 5-iron posture, once you're set, I'm going to ask you to take those arms and just cross them across your chest. Okay? So this is your best 5-iron posture. Address at the ball is what I'm looking for. Okay? In this posture, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to anterior and posterior pelvic tilt your hips. Now, do you know what that means?
I think so.
Okay, can you show me what that means?
Kind of this way.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. So right away, does anybody in the room see anything going on with Terry as he goes through this? Anything noticeable? Everybody see the shake? He's shaking his hips a little bit. That's one thing taking place. If you can do one more, Terry, for me. Good, go ahead and relax. Good, 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 good. How did we feel in the audience? How did that work out? Good. Good? Okay. Very awkward, right? A little bit weird? Yeah, kind of weird. It's okay if it's kind of weird, right? Any pain?
Oh, it's just shaking.
Just shaking. Yeah, yeah. So that shake and bake is what we call it, right? Taking place. There's a limitation there in your core. So there's something going on. Now, you're working out currently, right? Okay. Working out here? Awesome. Are you weak in your core?
Yeah, I think I am. I think so.
Okay. All right. So it might be limited core strength, but it could potentially be something else. Okay. You want to get a little bit better right now, maybe? Okay. Can we grab this chair? Bring this chair over.
Right now.
And I'm going to go into just one little drill here. Now, for those in the audience, what I would caution you on would be, I wouldn't start you here, Terry, if I were working with you. I would start with another exercise or 2 or even 3 before we get to this position. But I know you've been working in the gym, getting a little activity in. I'd like you to hold on to the chair for me in your 5-iron posture. Right? So you're set up in your 5-iron posture. I'm going to ask you to go through your anterior and posterior pelvic tilt again. Okay? Go a little bit slower for me. One more. Go ahead and relax. Does it feel any better?
It did feel better.
Does it feel better? Okay. So do you feel that you're more confident moving through that motion, holding onto the chair?
100%.
Because there's support there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're trying to stabilize you a little bit, right? And while you work on your mobility and your pelvic tilt. So in some ways, you said you were weak. I didn't call you weak.
Right.
You said you were weak.
Right.
But what I might think is there might be something where your brain isn't connecting to the movement. And you don't believe that you're going to protect your back. You're shaking your abdominal muscles because you're trying to protect your lower back because you're scared you're going to hurt it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's guaranteed, but that might be something going on. Want to try it one more time so you can get a little bit better? Really want you to focus, use your brain, think about your abdominal muscles engaging as you anterior and posterior pelvic tilt your hips. Does that look better?
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
A little less shaking there?
So, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and relax. Now I went through that pretty quickly with you. Again, I caution you because I start at different levels, and really through the fitness protocol, there's 4 levels, and you're at level 4. Okay? I start at level 1. Now, might work at level 1 for a minute, an hour, a day, or a week, or even longer, depending on how you did. But there's 4 levels. Anybody remember when they were a baby?
Not well.
Not well. Anybody remember where you started as a baby once you were born?
Laying on your back.
Yeah.
Laying on your back
Yeah.
and your stomach, right? Trying to move around and figure out this body that we just created,
Yeah.
right? So I would start you on your back, arching and flattening your back. The comfort of the floor giving you some feedback that you're comfortable with your abdominals and your lower back. Then, as we continue as a baby, what do we end up doing? Once we learn to flip over, we start to do what?
Crawl.
So hands and knees would be your second position. And there's drills we would do. And then the third position would be what? What do we do after we crawl?
Climb or stand.
We start to climb. Before we stand, we start to climb and hold furniture. Right? So there's a tall kneeling position. So I just gave you a little bit of the protocol that we would follow going through setting you up for better, less shake and bake, and better pelvic tilt. Make sense?
Good.
Awesome. Good. Thanks for going through that.
Okay, no problem.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Stuart?
Explain now, if you would, to Terry, you kind of how that's helping in your golf swing, what that does for the power source of your swing, because you gotta have that.
So, do you have any idea where that's utilized?
Well, I think a couple of spots really when you rotate around, where you kind of rotate the pelvis going back and then going through. So I'm just guessing rotation-wise from this position at the top to the finish.
Right.
But,
So, when you set up at a dress, there's a certain degree of pelvic tilt. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, but somewhere around 26 degrees on average on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Right? As you go into your backswing, you pelvic tilt. You empty the bucket of water, so to speak. If this waistline was a bucket of water, you empty the bucket of water more into your backswing. Okay? Not drastically, but a little bit as we go into our backswing. As we come into our downswing, and specifically at impact, we want to keep the water in our bucket. So if you think about that,
what a lot. I think
and
I've
sit
heard
there,
that.
yep, out of dress, take your backswing, come back to impact. I just went through that quickly. Come back to impact. Your bucket of water should be keeping your water in your bucket. And some people on the PGA Tour are dumping the water out of the backside of the bucket. I'll pause there for a second. Any questions? Any thoughts? Any concerns? Does that make sense? Does it not make sense?
That makes it just so you're emptying the, so I get the fact that when you're here and you're going back, you're loose, but then you're getting tight when you go through an impact. Is that what you're saying? I just want to try to tell. Are you
You're
filling the bucket on impact?
You're engaging your core muscles by pulling your hips to your rib cage at impact. That's what we should be doing.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, do we have information on Terry's swing and what he does at impact?
What I was doing, yeah, it was horrible. I mean, I was.
What
It
were
was,
you doing, Terry?
It was,
Okay.
in a sense, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is, all of that interior posterior, this is about a power source. Because if this isn't functioning properly, as Eric said, if the water's not in the bucket, maybe it's dumped out, maybe it's not even holding water, again, once you try to get to impact, again, what's going to make sense? As Terry, you've heard me say that if the big piece slows down, it's not functioning properly, the little pieces take over. And our arms, our hands, we flip, we throw, whatever happens. So this movement pattern here, why we want to dive into this, no pun intended with the bucket, but it's all about that power source. This is your engine. Your glutes are the king or queen for female, but this is everything. And how your pelvis functions and moves has everything to do with how we can load and unload. So again,
Part of it, yeah, I mean, I, you know, as I got with Kristen, part of this leg was straightening, right? So I have the hip going.
come on up
higher.
this way.
Okay,
Yeah, let's see you on camera. So
so I'll go this way.
So can you show impact?
Yeah, impact, I was more flipping at it a little bit, because I wasn't rotated.
So you're trying to create a power source in
and,
your
It's
we
wrist,
actually back
and
here.
we were sliding a little
Yeah.
bit into it.
and you're buckling your left knee.
Yeah.
So my wrist was out, a little extension, and I was hitting it, got nothing on the ball. All of a sudden, I was struggling to hit it 700 or 150 yards. I couldn't figure out why. So I was not even, body was moving this way, and I was trying to save everything with my hands.
So let's take a look, if you don't mind, let's take a look at your glute strength.
Sure.
Sound good? Okay, we're gonna bring the table into play here. We're gonna ask you to lay down on the table. So if you could lay down on the table,
On my back.
on your back, please. And if you could bend your knees so your feet are flat on the table. All right, I'm going to ask you to bring your feet together, your knees together, and I'm going to ask you to bring your heels as close to your hips as you feel comfortable. Once you're set, I'm going to ask you to bring your hands together over your chest. And again, if you at home want to try this, or you guys here want to try it, you're welcome to. Hands together over your chest so that your hands are pointing to the ceiling for me.
Okay.
So hands together.
Oh, together.
There you go. And above your chest. Perfect. And if you can raise your hips up as high as you can. Knees together, please. And now I'm going to ask you to extend extend your left leg straight out. Keep your knees in the same spot. Don't let your knee move. Perfect. Hold that position for me. Terry, are you experiencing any pain?
No,
Can you give us an idea of what body part, what muscle you feel this in?
glute, hamstring,
Glute and hamstring?
the quad, outside quad.
Outside quad? Okay. Glute, hamstring, outside quad? Looks pretty good. Go ahead and relax for me. Any info that you want to add yet?
Yeah, so when I first evaluated Terry with this specific test in June, his hamstring cramped. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And the reason his hamstring was cramping is because he was trying to extend his hip, which is what a bridge is, using only his hamstring and his quad. And he wasn't firing his glutes. But over the last several months, he's gotten better control of his glutes, and then he's been working out and building more strength and power in them in his fitness routine. And it's directly translating to having more strength, more control, and making it easier to swing his club and more effective and pain-free. So continue.
Awesome. So, congrats on the improvement, by the way. That's awesome. Can we stay right here? Can we got to do the other side, right? We got to do the other side. So, once again, Terry, if you could, hands up, thank you. Feet together, knees together. You can extend that opposite leg for me, keeping those knees together. Great, hold that position. Hips are up to the sky. Hold that position for me. Once again, any pain?
No,
Not feeling any pain. Awesome. Any muscle engagement?
glute, same thing, really, more glute on this side, I think.
So you're feeling glutes on both sides. You're feeling a little bit of hamstring and a little bit of quad, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You feel like you can hold this for days,
Not days, but
hours,
certainly
minutes? Minutes, okay, minutes. Good, go ahead and relax for me. And again, no pain, correct?
Right.
Come on up. Nice job on the improvement. If that was a limitation like it was, we challenge you to try this at home, or when you guys go home tonight, try this exercise and see if you feel your glutes, your hamstrings, your lower back, or somewhere completely different. And if you do, there's a limitation, if you don't feel in your glutes, you have a limitation. Anything else to add to that?
No, that was great.
Good.
Nice job, Terry. Very
Thank you.
impressive.
Yeah, nice work, nice
I can
improvement.
tell you've been working.
Nice improvement.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
So, again, this makes a perfect case in point of how one of our members came to work on his golf game, reached a plateau where his body said, I can't do anymore. If you keep pushing the envelope, you've already got a little pain here, a little pain here, you're going to increase that pain, and that means you're going to, A, stop playing more, you're going to stop enjoying it, and the number one thing that we all strive for is for you to have quality of life. Quality of life means no pain, plus being able to play golf as much as you'd like and as often as you'd like. What we have coming, again, those screenings coming up on Tuesdays, the next two Tuesdays, the 8th and the 15th. You'll be able to go online and sign up for those. They're an hour apart. All three of us will be there. We look forward to having you. We're running a special. And also coming up, there are some things that as a team we're going to promote and roll out. We want to do a father-son challenge, possibly a mother-daughter challenge. And then we're going to do some junior speed and strength training courses coming up, because we want Eric to get a hold of some of these juniors that, A, want to play college golf, or maybe you're one of the dads. You're tired of the kid out driving you. We're going to turn him loose, see if we can get you fired up and maybe get you some more RPMs in that golf swing. Brad?
So we just want to say thanks for viewing, dropping in, and seeing what we have to offer to you. We are very, very happy to get this started and excited to get going. We hope to see you on Tuesday the 8th and or Tuesday the 15th to get your initial screening. The special we're running for that is actually, they are normally $125 for a screening.